What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Shit Show. My name is Drake, and to my bottom left-hand corner, all the way from Concord, is Jimmy the Jew with zero hair on his head per usual. Today's guest, we have Kapena from the 6-part Netflix docuseries Cheer, which documents the Navarro College cheerleading team as it preps to compete for another national championship. How's it going, man? How you doing today?
Aloha, I'm doing great on this sunny, beautiful Hawaiian day.
Must be nice. Yeah.
What island are you on right now?
I'm on Oahu, and I live in Honolulu.
How did you get all the way into Texas and be affiliated with Navarro Cheer?
Honestly, it was my high school coach that kind of convinced me to look into colleges out there. And honestly, there's so many good colleges in Texas. It's a catalog of great cheerleading colleges. And then I picked Navarro because it stuck out to me watching the videos on YouTube. And this is back in like 2009, 2010. So as soon as I caught my eye on them, I was like, oh, I'm going to go there. I have to. And that's pretty much how I like researched, looked up where the school was. And I realized I was like, that's so far away. And it's in the middle of nowhere. It's 50 minutes south of Dallas. And I was just like, okay, well, if this is what I want to do with my life, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take a risk. And I ended up doing so.
Nice.
What's Hawaii like right now? We were just talking to our boy Jay Boog a few weeks ago, and based on the way it looks right now in your video, it's like sunny and amazing.
I'm so blessed to live here, honestly. It's beautiful. I think it's like, I don't want to get the weather off, but I'm going to guess around 78. The weather's about 78. It's sunny.
Pretty standard.
Yeah, it's just standard Hawaii weather. Nice and warm. It's like around the same temperature year round, so I can't complain. I was just in Seattle, and before that I was in Dallas. And Dallas, it's very bipolar, temperamental. Yeah. It goes from cold to hot. And then I was in Seattle, and I was freezing over there, even though it really wasn't cold to them. It was cold to me. And I finally got on my flight home, and I'm, comfortable.
Happy.
Yep.
Well, one thing about us is we all have big ties to Hawaii as well. Like, my band is Iration, and Christopher, our producer, is the guitar tech for Iration, and Jimmy Jew is big in the reggae scene. He knows everybody. So we all love Hawaii, and so it's nice to have you come on the show and be part of our Shit Show family.
Yes, I'm so blessed to be here, honestly.
And actually, I was speaking to Adam today, the bass player of Iration, and first of all, he says hello. And actually, so do all the other guys, because they're huge fans of yours.
What?
And the band.
That's so
sick. And because I asked them, because they're all from Hawaii, most of them, and I asked them how to pronounce your name, first of all, because I didn't want to fuck that up. Yep. And second of all, Adam told me what your name means, and he said it means captain of the ship. Is that correct?
Yep. It does. It means captain in Hawaiian. And it's funny that you mentioned that because whether I have interviews or I meet people for the first time, I could even tell them how to pronounce my name. And they normally butcher it. I don't take it too hard, but I'll get like Kapena, or they'll go Kapena, because I guess I get mistaken for Hispanic. I get a lot of things. I get McKenna. I get a lot. So most people just, McKenna, I don't know why. And most people just end up like calling me Cap for short. I'm like, perfect, because that's what it means,
Kind of means captain.
Yep, Cap. You're like, okay. I get Kaepernick. I get a bunch of stuff.
That's funny.
What does your whole? Can you pronounce your full name, and what else does it mean, if anything?
Kapena e ho'omakoa Kia. The Kia is my last name. Kapena e ho'omakoa is kind of like a brave captain. Brave captain. That's the easiest way I can translate it. Hawaiian language has a lot of hidden meanings, I would say, and special meanings. There's more behind the word, but that's how I interpret it.
How many letters are in Hawaii? 13?
A, I, U, E, ko, ta, ki, ku, ke. Wait, I'm speaking Japanese. Hold on. A, I, U, E, o, he, ke, la, mu, nu, pi, ve, akina. Yeah, 13. Sorry.
13.
That's how many teeth Jimmy has.
Does that make you feel better, Drake? This is shit I got to deal with.
What can you just let everybody know about like the show for all of our listeners who have never seen the show? You want to maybe tell them a little bit about the show and everything?
Yeah, sure. If you haven't seen the show yet, it's basically a docuseries, a 6-part docuseries about the 2018-2019 Navarro cheerleading team. And now Navarro College is a junior college located in Corsicana, Texas. It's a small town, and this team has attracted a lot of fabulous athletes, outstanding athletes from all over the world, not just the nation, come to Corsicana to be coached by the one and only Monica Aldama. She's the head coach, and then the assistant coach, Andy Cosfarent, and then I, along with them, the student assistant coach, because I was a student at the time with them. They come to the program to work their butts off and hopefully in the end compete at Daytona Beach in Florida. It happens literally on this day.
On this day
would be day 2. So there's a semifinals and a finals, day 1 to day 2. And on this day, had there not been the COVID-19 case, we would be in Daytona Beach performing our last performance of this season and crossing our fingers and hoping that all the hard work would have paid off. But back to the show. Last year we competed, and I don't want to give away anything, but it kind of just shows the hardships of the entire season, of what it takes to be on the team, what it takes to be on mat. And you'll hear that a lot, like an athlete trying to make mat. And mat, unfortunately, we can only take 20 people to compete on the floor at a time. So with a team of 40 athletes and you being one of the 20, it's pretty gut-wrenching to see who makes it and who doesn't and who has what it takes. And honestly, we have so many great athletes, but it's truly a puzzle, and you have to find the perfect piece. There's amazing pieces, but they might not fit for that routine at the moment. And you'll see it throughout the show. And it goes through what resonated with most viewers in the audience was the life lessons, the hardships that you go through as a human being, as an adult, through your family, through just different crises and criteria in your life, and how they handle that. And you'll see that throughout the show. So if you haven't watched it yet, I would definitely suggest you go onto Netflix. It's just Cheer, CHEER, and give it a shot. I think you will be hooked. And don't forget to bring your tissue, because it's kind of hard to watch sometimes.
Yeah, Jimmy,
you guys get a lot of
watch that, Jimmy.
Like gymnasts. Because you guys do a lot of gymnast stuff.
I would say the sport of competitive cheerleading has evolved from acrobatics, and gymnastics. But in the time of cheerleading has evolved so much that it's almost its own category. We have a slightly different technique. We take some gymnasts, but most of the gymnasts that we take were probably gymnasts when they were a lot younger and they reached a certain elite level, and then they're like, hey, I want that next step. I've done gymnastics for a few years. I kind of want to try something different. And normally their parents put them in competitive cheerleading, whether it be through like high school or middle school or even all-star. And then that's when their career kind of explodes in the cheer world. So they might have had some gymnastics background, but most of the kids that we take are cheerleaders. You kind of have to have some experience, because it's not easy catching a whole person's body, 20 feet in the air, and then, or even doing the things that we do on the particular foam mat that we do it on. Gymnastics, they have kind of a spring floor. There's like some cushion on it. The dead mat, we call it dead mat or hard floor. It's just, I don't even know how it is, 2.5 inches thick of foam on top of court or concrete. So it's really, really tough
Just
on your body.
Stiff.
Yeah, it's really hard. It's pretty intense.
Damn. A lot of strength.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the championship was supposed to be obviously this weekend. What is going on in everyone's head, and how much time did you guys have before everyone realized that it was just everything's canceled?
About a month ago today, probably. We knew well in advance that the NCA, the company that hosts that competition, had canceled the college nationals due for our safety, and we knew that. But it was hard. It was a hard pill to swallow for the athletes that have dedicated so much of their time to come to the program and try to achieve something, and then have that taken away from them because of what's going on right now. It's hard. It's hard for all of us, the coaches. But,
so how far into the routine had you guys gone? Had you guys even had, because on the show there's a preview night where you guys show all your friends and family. Had you guys gotten that far?
Yes, the team had the entire routine. It was ready. We normally have the routine a month and a half before we compete because we like to drill it over and over and over again. Due to having the routine so early, we have injuries, we have to switch them out, stuff like that. But we had it ready. We had the whole routine choreographed, including the dance. And it's unfortunate the world can't see it. But, I mean, the world wasn't ready for this year's team. It was so amazing.
What was it? I mean, first of all, was there going to be a second season on Netflix? Whether or not you can say that, it's okay. You don't have to say anything.
I'm not sure. I'll just say this. There was filming involved. They were filming. They came back to film. Whether there was going to be another season, I have no idea. It's up in the air for Netflix.
Of course there was. It was such a good show.
Verify that there was going to be another season. But there was filming. They were there.
Good, because I want more. I mean, every day we watched it. I mean, it probably took us. My boyfriend and I watched it maybe in 2.5, 3 days, and it was like. Yep. It's like you're on the edge of your seat, like, holy shit, like what's going on? And the show is so good, not only because anytime you follow a championship team, you're going to get great content. But what was so amazing was that you guys put everything out on the line. Like everyone talked about everything. Most reality shows, and this isn't a reality show, but most shows try to like make things entertaining and like just they don't want to tell the sensitive stuff or anything too serious, but you guys fucking put everything out. You guys talked about everything, and that's why it's so like, whoa, it's intense.
And it was just life. We didn't have to. There was no scripts involved. There was no planning on let's make sure that this happens. None of that was. Everything that they captured happened. In fact, there was a lot of things that happened during the season that they didn't put on the show. They just felt like it wasn't needed for the story to advance the plot or whatever they wanted to share with the world. They felt like it wasn't needed, or for whatever reason. There were so many interviews. There were so many different things that didn't make the show, and it's totally okay because the message was clear, it was broadcasted, and it resonated throughout the entire world.
So when will you go back to Texas? Like, do you have any? Are you just pretty much in a holding pattern right now? Like nothing scheduled. Like, what are you doing?
I would say I'm in a holding pattern. I don't think I'm going to return back to Navarro. That's for sure. My time there is up. I was there for 4 seasons. I'm good. I love them. They're my family, and I'm so excited to see what they're going to be able to accomplish and achieve next season. There's so many athletes coming in. It's crazy. Since the show came out, that there was a lot more attention on the school and the program. So I'm so happy for them. They're going to do amazing. And if Netflix decides to follow them another season and hopefully air that, then that's great. But for me, I think I want to try to focus on the next step for me. I definitely want to get into acting. I definitely want to get into some form of media if I can. And but the end goal is to open up a gym here, whether it is to start coaching at a college down here, broadening my horizons down in Hawaii. I definitely want to bring Hawaii on the map as far as the cheer.
Is there anything you regret about doing the show?
Do I regret? Okay, let me be honest about this. It's not so much of a regret, it's a regret. They're there every day. The 12 people, or how many people that there are, 9 sometimes, maybe even 5. I don't even know if there's that little. There's a lot of people involved filming. You've got the sound people, the camera, and there's multiple people on the cameras because they got to switch the lenses for different shots, and they're constantly going. The batteries. There's like at least 2 sound people. You're getting mic'd all the time. There's people behind, the screens, like, I don't know, directing it pretty much. Like, oh, follow this person, keep following them. They look like they're crying. Or oh, what are they talking over there? Don't go focus on that.
She's crying. Get her.
Yeah, it's like that, because you don't want to just focus on somebody that's having the time of their life while someone's in the corner, like, hardly being able to breathe because their rib is bruised,
They're having a personal moment. Get them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty much how it goes. And it gets out. I guess originally they said they wanted to be a fly on the wall. We wouldn't be able to notice them. Like, oh, they're just going to be possible. There. Not really, because it becomes a part. You almost change your routine a little bit because they're there, so you have to stand a little different. Like, oh, they're right in front of the floor. Let me go around them to watch this. It's not too inconvenient. However, when they would ask for an interview sometimes, because they wanted to get more information on a situation, whether an athlete is injured and how is that going to affect the team. So they're asking for an interview to be scheduled, oh, can we come by your room today at so-and-so time? They're so busy trying to interview and capture all these different moments, follow this person home, follow that person to the library, follow this person to the dorm, that you almost have to block off a certain time for them if they ask for an interview. But for me, I guess it was so overwhelming that I was like, oh, I'm not available today. I'm so sorry, that I kind of pushed it away. I don't know why. This is the industry I wanted to get into, but at the time it became overwhelming because I felt like I didn't want to seem like somebody that was attention hungry. I didn't want somebody to be like, oh, he's always getting those interviews because he wants to be on the show. I wanted to make sure that it was very clear that I wanted the opposite, that I was like, okay, let them do them. But because of the way I speak and the amount I speak, they loved interviewing me, so they always want to schedule an interview, but I always turn down some opportunities, which I regret so much. I wish I had more time to speak, just because I felt
more exposure.
Just more exposure, more screen time, more just putting myself out there.
Well, I think with the time you had, you made a pretty big impact on everyone, because you're my girlfriend's favorite on that show by about 1 million miles. So
yes, oh my gosh, I love that. I'm obsessed.
Well, you definitely. I mean, I don't know if you want to talk about this, but there was a moment on, I think it was episode 4 or 5, where you talked about, it was a whole circle, and you talked about a really vulnerable moment where you tried to take your life, but you failed, thank God. And that, I can't even imagine sharing something like that with millions and millions of people. And, you're probably going to help so many lives with just sharing that story.
The truth behind that was I actually didn't know that they were filming. We have, which I don't mind at all. I don't mind that it came out. Do
you want my lawyer's number? I got a great lawyer.
No, I love them. I love the crew so much. They're like family. They really are family. But I think they knew what they were doing when they did that. Let me back it up. We have a lot of things that we do as a team, bondings, vulnerable moments where we talk, and that happened to be one of the last ones where, had you been on the team with me prior, you would have known that story, because they were the ones looking for me, trying to find me, because I guess I sent a lot of I don't know how to explain it, suicidal thoughts onto social media. So people were looking for me, and those team members knew. However, the kids that were in the program on the show didn't know that story. So I felt that it was important that I shared that with them, so that they don't fall into a hole like I did, and that I could be a testimony and something that would pull them out of that when they feel like the whole world's crashing on them. Because at that point in the season, it's very, very hard mentally to keep going on, because you feel like you're just stuck, So I just kind of wanted to share that with them, and the camera crew caught it. And I always wondered, when the show was going to be released, I was like, oh, what's going to be on the show? What did I say at this practice? What did I do? You don't even remember, because it's every day of your at least semester. So when that came out, I was actually shook, and I had a lot of people reach out to me, just saying how proud they were that I had shared that with the world, and also that something resonated in them, or they related to what I went through, and they were so glad that if I was able to share that and I got through that they can too. And that's one of the biggest things I'm actually so happy for, that I shared that and people feel the same way, that I wasn't alone in that, you know?
Yeah, that's cool. People that respect you, the kids can learn from it, know that they're not alone. That's really good.
And that's important. That point is important to all of us, because I think we've all been through our own struggles with depression. I don't think Jimmy will ever admit it, but I know Drake and I have had our struggles with those kind of things. So
if I don't get some chicks coming over once in a while, I get a little depressed. I'm a shitbag though. I'm a total shitbag.
So Cap, one thing about
out of the show. Yeah.
One thing about Jimmy is right now is going through a celibate phase. And Jimmy is all about women, and I've ever since I've known him, he's always been flipping through women. Yeah, he's a bad man.
But I'm going celibate right now.
He's celibate.
I'm doing good.
Well, you kind of have to. We're
once in a while.
Okay, yeah. You got it.
Yeah, recataloging myself. I had a epiphany.
Epiphany.
I said it right. What the hell it's called?
What's going on? Okay, what's going on in your love life right now?
My love
life? Yes.
Oh, I have a boyfriend of 9 years, so I'm good. I'm controlled.
You're controlled. Are you guys quarantining together? Are you guys separate? Right? Okay, good.
We're quarantined together. We live in an apartment, and it's better than I'm here than like anywhere else. If I didn't have him, I wouldn't be sane right now. He keeps it exciting and he keeps my brain moving.
I want to ask everyone what everyone's shows they're watching right now. Like personally, I just finished The Outsider on HBO. That was really good.
Okay.
Little scary. Towards the end of it was a little but I don't know. What are you watching, Chris?
Me, I'm really sad to admit this, but Sarah got me hooked on 90 Day Fiancé. So I've been watching a lot of 90 Day Fiancé.
Okay, never heard of that.
What? Oh my God.
That's a big one. That's a big one.
You're going to absolutely love it.
Where is it? Where is it on? Is it on Netflix?
Sarah, what is 90 Day Fiancé on? TLC.
Okay.
Probably on Hulu or something.
I have all of the streaming.
I'm finishing up The Shameless. I think I'm on the last season right now.
Oh gosh, Shameless. What am I on?
What are you
I'm
watching?
on a few things. I kind of schedule them out during the day. At night, I watch the movie from the MCU, but I'm watching it in chronological order. Right now, I'm on Iron Man 3, I believe. And then, no, I'm not. Well, it's one of the. Dang, what did I just watch? Oh, Thor: Dark World. So I'm on to the next one. But I'm also watching All American. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. It's on Netflix. Oh my gosh, it's originally on the CW, but it's on Netflix. So good. So good. I love that show. And
wait, is that the show that has the shirtless guys on the
Yes.
Okay.
You'll see the shirtless show, like the shirtless guy on like the not the ad, but when you're like looking browsing through, it has like the shirtless guy, but that is actually super, super good. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Bring It On, like Bring It On 3, where it has that one Hayden Panettiere. She went to like Crenshaw, so she came from like Beverly Hills and she went to Crenshaw. So she was like a rich girl that went to like more of like a not so rich school. Well, it's kind
of the West Side.
Yeah, it's kind of flipped. So there's this football player. I think his name is Spencer. He goes to Beverly Hills because he gets like kind of like drafted into this like more fancy school, and it's just a good show. You just have to watch it. It's on Netflix. Super, super good. And then I'm also watching Demon Slayer on Crunchyroll. So it's like an anime. Super good. I totally suggest it.
Jimmy, we should link him up with our boy COC, who's done a bunch of acting on the islands.
I would love that.
COC did do acting when he was in Hawaii, huh?
Yeah,
he did. LA now.
We were actually out. We were out for dinner one night. Was it you and me, Drake? That were out for
yes.
And we looked at the TV, and it was CSI Hawaii or whatever it's called, and it was our boy COC up on the TV and like all 5 screens of this restaurant.
450, right? 450.
Yeah.
Yeah, the new one.
Just invite me. I'll come eat dinner. I'll talk to all y'all.
What kind of stuff do you want to do as an actor? Like, what are your hopes and dreams? If you could do anything like film, TV, stage.
Film mainly. I wouldn't mind TV. Like even like the new thing is like some streaming show. So like there's a lot of series that are exclusively on Netflix or Hulu or Disney Plus.
Right.
I wouldn't even mind that. My end goal, like end be all thing, is to be a part of the Disney family. I'm a huge Disney fan, and if I could be a voice for the newest CGI movie on Pixar or Disney Animation Studios, I don't care. I don't care if I'm a background dancer to the newest, adaptation of Rapunzel, the live action. I don't
just
care.
Like twerking, like in the fucking background.
Anything. I don't care. Whatever you need, I'll do. As long as I'm part of the Disney family, that's like the top goal.
Spoken like a true gay.
Yeah. Has there ever been a gay Disney character yet? Has that been a thing?
I'm the newest Disney.
Move over, Moana.
Yes. So, that would be funny.
I want to know how to. So go ahead, Jimmy. Sorry.
Oh no, I was going to go back to the movie or TV show.
Oh yeah.
But if you guys want,
no, go.
On that, who picks your guys' music and like what do you guys cheer to?
Oh, our music. Oh, we have a professional music producer. His name is Patrick, and we call him Cheer Music Pro because he's huge in the cheer industry. He makes everyone's music pretty much. There's a couple of other DJs, but he
makes it for other teams.
He makes a bunch of music for everybody. Okay, so back a few years ago, as in 2016 was the last year that we could kind of mix radio music, copyrighted music, and add sound effects. Everyone knew like the Katy Perry's Firework, and it was in the stunt section, and it had bings and bops and boops. You know what I mean? But in 2016 was the last season that they had this rule where you couldn't use copyrighted music. So a lot of music producers, either DJs were like taken out because they couldn't mix or write their own music. And Patrick wrote his own music, brings in artists, random artists that could either rap or sing, and he'd write new songs for our music. So like in Naval's music, it's like, I'm a dog who run it, dogs who want it, dogs. That's not a song on the radio. That is something he wrote that he got an artist to come in and rap and sing, and then he puts it in the music. Because that's the only way we could legally perform, because they had this whole like saving the art act thing. I don't know what it's called, but they just didn't want people like, stealing music basically.
All the prima donna musicians.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean,
Whatever.
He does super good. I know it's totally different. It's more like beats and it's not.
Well, yeah, it's
totally
like it's like constant. You know how like in techno or like electronic music, it's constantly rising, and so it's like constantly rising and then like plateauing and then peaking and then just up and up and up because it's like hype, go.
Yep, it has to be, because honestly, I'm not gonna go tumble to something that makes me feel like I want to go to sleep. You know what I mean?
I know.
And that those dead beats, those are always like it just like something big is gonna happen. So
as you're tossing a 100-pound woman in the air.
Yep. He watches the routines and he's like, oh, this is gonna sound good for this part, or like these voiceovers or this sound effect. Like he does really, really good.
Oh, so is it routines first and then the music?
Yes.
Whoa. I had no idea.
Really?
That's how good he is. Yes.
Well, I thought you do the routine to the music. Seems like it makes more sense.
No, we choreograph to like counts, just like a dance. Like we would go, well, some people choreograph dance. We could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, do the motions, the tumbling, whatever.
Yeah.
And we film all that. Counting, actually, he has a music that goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that when he watches it in his studio and it's going 1, 2, 3, we can see like which one. That's the 40-second 1, 2, 3, 4. So on 42, they do a basket toss. So I need this sound over here, and he like knows how long the stunt section is. So he wants the stunt song this long. So
that's talent.
That's sick.
He's so good. Well, it's not just him. There's a lot of others, but he's our favorite.
That
you guys ever
so
played
cool.
like bands, like marching band type things, like Blue Devils?
No.
I see the cheerleaders sometimes come out to them when they're doing the big stadium things?
Well,
I like all that. The drums, the horns.
They like regular I don't even know, marching band type of things, like when they're out on the stadium or
the fields and stuff.
Yeah, we don't. Our school in particular doesn't have much. We just have the clapping and it's like sideline cheerleading. We don't do routines to those. I don't think I know any team that does, unless you're like a sideline school that loves to cheer in front of an audience, which is not. There's nothing wrong with that. I think most schools are more geared toward the competitive side, where if we're going to do a whole routine, it's going to be to music. And if we're going to do something in front of the crowd, it's just going to be something that follows along with a slower drum beat,
So I have a question, because first of all, you guys are obviously all very talented, but you guys are also very incredibly good looking. Like every single person is just ripped from head to toe.
You have a boyfriend, Drake. Calm down.
I understand that. Okay. We watched this together, but everybody, one of my favorite scenes is it's I forget who it was. It's two people having a conversation, a serious conversation, and they're sitting on the wall, just doing sit-ups. And then, and it's is everyone just doing sit-ups from day to night? What the fuck?
Honestly, if you're not doing something that we're focused on at the moment, you have to do some sort of form of workout. Okay. Most of the time we're girls, go do abs, because why would you want to look or feel young? Right. And I also feel like the industry is kind of pushed, just like the world has pushed some sort of body image, a particular type of body image. We all want to look good, so we're constantly I don't want to go to Daytona looking like this. I want to look good. So physically, I feel we have to keep up. You have to keep up.
Absolutely.
Sport is so demanding, so that's why we're constantly working out. Plus, we're also being told to work out. We're go run. Do something. You gotta do something. But if you're talking about facial features, I think our girls are some of the most beautiful and most gorgeous girls in the industry. I think that's just because they're from Navarro, but I could be biased.
But who can? I mean, it's true.
Little bias.
Yeah,
That's funny.
Who are you still talking to right now? Who are you texting every single day, on the team?
I have a bunch of people. There are some athletes that I cheered with and I coached with, or coached, that I still contact. There's my best friends that I cheered with, Ashley Sawai. She's also from Hawaii. She's from Maui, actually. Mm-hmm. She's currently in New Zealand with her boyfriend, Sid. We always talk. My best friend, Dylan Kenvin, he was on the team 2 years ago. He lives in Dallas. And then there's TT. I don't know if you remember TT. TT was the guy that had his back was sore. And
yes. I'm looking right now at TT.
Yeah. I still contact him. He just dyed his hair yesterday. It's this dark gray. He's in Arizona right now with a few other cheerleaders. In fact, a lot of them are still at the school because they're still going to school, just online. They're just not going home. So they're
staying in the dorms, essentially.
Yep. But there's a bunch of people I still contact. And then my littles. I don't know if you remember Alex. I don't want to spoil too much, but he was the guy that saved the day on the last episode.
That was intense. That was fucking intense.
I still talk to him. He's still in Corsicana, along with my other little Corbin. He was the mascot on the floor. He's in Oklahoma right now. But
how's Monica doing? Is she sad that everything is stopped right now? Coach Monica is the head coach. Yeah,
she and Andy are both. They've worked so much this season. So I don't know if you know, but I was there in the beginning of the semester, of the first semester, and then second semester I tried to leave. I was doing my own thing. I was back and forth because I'm a choreographer as well. So I was going back and forth between Seattle and Dallas. But Monica and Andy were the coaches this season, and they worked so hard to put together an amazing routine. And that routine was just, I would say, too good for the world to see. And that's why we couldn't perform it.
Wow.
Yeah, they're heartbroken.
Oh, it's so sad.
Let me tell you what it feels like to be a coach. a lot of times as an athlete, when you go into practice, you're worried about me and yourself, and I need to land this pass, I need to throw her up, and I need to catch her, I need to make sure this hits. But as a coach, you know what that person's stressing out about, and that girl, and that guy, and that girl, and that guy. And you know what, all 20 people on the mat. In fact, you also know that this person on the side is working harder than someone on the mat, and you might have to switch them in soon. And you're constantly strategizing, and you're constantly taking all this information in. And at night, you sit there and you go over all the videos that you filmed at practice, and you just watch it over and over. This is Monica, by the way. Monica does this all the time. She cannot sleep. We'll get a text from her at 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. She's like, hey, guys, I wanted to try this new idea instead. Let's take this out. Because she can't sleep. She's constantly like, oh, my gosh, my brain, it's going 100 miles per hour, and I need it to come out now. In fact, there are some times she's like, is everybody in town? And we're like, yeah. She's like, okay, we're going to have practice in 2 hours. Is everyone good? And we're like, yep, we'll have practice in 2 hours. Because she's all these ideas. She's so creative. And you know who else is also creative? Andy. The other
love Andy.
Andy's great. He is a freshman choreographer as well. He owns a choreography company, and he travels the world, travels a lot. In fact, sometimes it's hard for him to balance the schedule of Navarro. I mean, he balances well, but he does a lot of traveling and choreographing. So when he comes home and he's in town with Navarro, he's dedicating 100% of his time, and he comes up with some crazy stuff. Like sometimes I'm like, I don't know if that's legal. Let me go check the rule book. And Mom's like, let's do it. Let's try it.
Are we allowed to ask what team Andy plays on?
Oh, go ahead. I don't care. He's straight.
Oh.
Yeah, I lived with him. Well, okay, I don't know why he always gets this question, whether he's gay or not. I think he has a high sense of style, and it's a little different from most guys. And I think that's why people are instantly alluded to the fact that he might be on that side. But don't worry.
I was pretty sure he wasn't. I was pretty sure he was straight, but one can only dream.
Oh, I guess. Oh my God.
Sorry, Jimmy.
He is. A lot of people also don't know where he's from. He's originally from Romania, and he.
Did you say Romania?
Yes.
What did you? Oh wow.
Guamania.
Huh?
Guam.
Guam?
No,
what did you say?
Romania.
Romania.
Guamania.
Yeah. What's like the fuck?
That's not real.
That doesn't even exist. So he's from Romania, and
new country.
Also, it has dual citizenship in Canada. So his parents also live in Canada. So, but he also is. I don't know what it is. When you have is it a green card? I think he almost has citizenship in U.S. I don't know. He's basically 3 different citizens in one. And he can speak like 5 different languages. He's crazy. Yeah.
Amazing.
He's awesome. Mm-hmm. So sorry to burst your bubble, but...
It's all good.
Hey, Drake's got a very happy relationship.
Ladies, he's single. Ladies, if you want to contact him...
What about like on the mat? Like, are you in the team? Jimmy, would you want to ask this question?
Oh no, I was just gonna say, see how he just promotes one of his guy friends and chicks. You never do that for me. Hey, chicks out there, I'm single. Hello,
Jimmy
messed
is
up, Drake.
single. Yeah, but
ladies,
that's messed up.
Single, so if you want to hit him up, go ahead.
Yeah, hear that, ladies? Yeah, you can have a piece of this magic.
What about like on the show, like or not just on the show, but in the team? I didn't really see very many like romances happening, on the mat. What's going on with that? Are you guys allowed to date?
You are. Rule number 1, relationships on teams almost never work. However, my best friend Ashley from Hawaii, she's the Asian one. You can tell that she's from Hawaii, right? She and Sid are dating, and they've been dating all that whole season. They just didn't show it as much, I guess. I know they had interviews about it, but it wasn't featured on the show. But yeah, as long as you're doing it tastefully, not too much PDA, I think you're good.
Yeah.
There's not really interracial relationships. That basically means if you're on the same team. or cheerleaders dating in general. Most cheerleaders tend to stay away from other cheerleaders. You need a break from it all. When it's
Right.
a big part of your life. When you're talking about cheerleading and you're talking about the bollocks full and it's full, you kind of want to step back and like, oh, hey, football player, how many passes did you, throw today? Or just stuff like that. But
yeah.
And now that I think about it, the ones that were on the show, only Ashley and Sid were dating. And then this newer season, or this past season, my little Alex, the guy that saved the day, and a new flyer that came in this season, they're dating. And I think that they were also going to be featured. But, it's up in the air now.
Have you
Flyer, that's the person that you throw in the air?
A flyer? Yes, a flyer is like a top girl, the person that's on top of someone's hands, pretty much. And then a base is the person holding them up. And then a spotter is the person kind of like spotting it, watching it. Or sometimes they put their hands on it. But we normally call them tumblers, because tumblers would be the ones that are doing all the flips. Now there's tumbler girls. Those are girls that can do flips and hang with the boys. So,
have you ever been a tumbler just for fun? Like, hey, let's see if.
Oh yeah, I cheered once. I unfortunately don't cheer anymore because I have a shoulder injury, and every time I throw my arm a certain way, especially when I do twisting skills, it like subluxes, so it like partially dislocates in a way.
Shoulder never heals.
Yeah, it's terrible, and I don't want to get surgery. So, but I used to tumble. I used to be a tumbler on Navarro when I cheered there. So, and yes, I've been a flyer as well. I've not at Navarro, but I dream that I'm a flyer. Sometimes I like pull body positions. Body positions are like when you dive your leg up in the air or whatever. I mark stunts, and people have put me up. They complained about it, but they put me up. And I've based as well. So I've done it all pretty much.
That's absolutely terrifying. I've never even done a backflip in my life. So the fact, like just the idea of getting like tossed into the air and then like, that's absolutely terrifying.
Jesse's back there going, challenge accepted.
Do it safely. Do it safely. There's ways to learn. Okay, I'm going to break it down for you. Unfortunately, life isn't fair. And men have a certain physique that, and our center of gravity is higher than our chest. It makes us a lot easier to tumble than it is for girls. So when girls are great tumblers, they work their butts off. Because their center of gravity is lower, so they have to work a lot harder, or they have to work the specific area of their body, more of their core, their lower
core training
area, and they have to get that up. So when they can tumble equally, if not better than a male, that girl has either got the genes for it, or she is a hard worker, because it is tough to be a great female tumbler. However, for guys, whenever a guy's learning a new skill, I have little sympathy for them, because I'm like, dude, you're a guy. Throw it. You should be balls to the wall. Females are always like, okay, if I do this and I roll my ankle in the slightest way, I'm going to be out for 3 weeks, and that means I can't go. Like they constantly are thinking. Guys are like, let's just do it. Okay.
Hold my beer.
Yeah, literally. That's a guy's mentality.
Send it.
So if you can't do that, like.
So what you're saying is most men are pussies.
No, in fact, most men are not. But if you can't do it, then that's what you're suggesting.
Okay. Well, dude, thank you so much for coming on, and this Absolutely. Has been super fun. And if you ever want to come on here for anything, or if you just want to come and talk during quarantine, you are always welcome on the Shit Show, and we appreciate it. Do you want to go ahead and plug anything?
When I race some plays over to Hawaii, hit up Drake. Come to the show.
Hit me up, please. Thank you so much. I'm so blessed and so honored to be on the show, the Shit Show, where, honestly, I kind of was hoping I could do a little more shit talking, but
well, let's let it
rip.
Let's keep shit talking.
No,
we're all about it.
Let's talk shit about the North Shore.
I am down. The North Shore.
I love it up there, Turtle Bay, Moke Island. I love it all.
I love it all. But the thing is, here's the thing about Hawaii. It is becoming overcrowded. There are too many people visiting that like a drive that used to take maybe 30 minutes to get to North Shore is taking an hour plus. and if you don't leave by 8 a.m., you are stuck on a two-way, street, but you're just going 5 miles per hour, 10 miles per hour, stop, 10 miles per hour. Like it's just, ooh.
Man, try to get over the west side in the afternoon when it goes. H1 goes down to one lane.
Yeah,
you're screwed. You're 3 hours ridiculous. To go 10 miles.
I'm so glad that I live on the town side, so I don't have to go through that. But I see it and I hear about it because my friends live on the west side. I'm just like, I can't. I don't know how. Why do you still continue to live down there? But it's also more affordable over there.
Yes,
because that's why everyone lives there, and that's why there's so much traffic. It's ridiculous. I mean, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah,
it's crazy. But yeah. And there's another thing too. There's people coming down here to quarantine, and we don't have places for them. So they're like, "Oh, I'm stuck here for the next couple of days, and there's nothing open for me to nowhere open for me to stay." So they have to send them to homeless shelters, or find a hotel or host families to host these people that are trying to stay stuck here. And I'm just like, I get it. We all want to be in Hawaii. I do. I get it. But if you don't have it planned out, just wait and then come. That's my thing.
Right. They're eating all the Spam rations.
You have all the Spam. It's all gone.
I know.
Wait, so is it less crowded now that everything's going on, or is it still the same?
It's actually less crowded, but because there's so many businesses and certain hotels that are shut down for the moment, we are unable to accompany them.
Oh, so they're just
the
here.
People that do coming, yes, and there are still people that are coming, and they have their hotel reservations, and they're doing their thing. I mean, there's some people that are doing it, I guess, safely because they don't want to refund their flight and they still want to come or whatever. And what place to be? Be quarantined other than Hawaii. So they come here, and then certain beaches are closed, and almost all parks are closed. Most hikes are closed, but there are people still going to the spots that are not supposed to be visited, and that goes for locals as well. There are a lot of people here that aren't following the order. You know what I mean? Just stay inside. Now, I don't stay inside. I have a back. At my apartment. There's a yard area where I do workouts. There's the pool deck where I come to talk because there's space. You know what I mean? I social distance myself, but I'm not going out to these places where it's illegal. Where I think you get $5,000 fines if you go there, and they still do it.
5,000?
Yeah, I believe that's what I heard.
I heard $1,000 in SoCal.
Woof.
Jeez Louise.
That's
I'm
crazy.
just okay. I mean, I haven't been to the beach since I've been back, and I have only been back for a little over 2 weeks, and I'm dying to go to the beach because that's right. Kind of where I rejuvenate. But I can't go because I'm not trying to get in trouble. 1 and 2. There's I don't think it's illegal right now. As of right now, there's a lot of people still going out and surfing. So I'm okay.
Kason, the keyboardist of Iration, he's on the I think he's on the Big Island, and I know he surfs every day. I
think it's legal.
Yeah, people who surf, you can't stop them. This is their their life. They're gonna go, even if they get arrested, they're gonna fucking go out there every day.
Yeah. No, I know. It's just. I think the reason why I'm frustrated is because I want to do it too. Well, okay, I know that beach access is allowed. It's certain areas, certain hikes, almost all parks, and yet there are people that are not following the rules. And I'm like, I just want this epidemic or this pandemic to go away, Yeah. But that's the thing. Let's talk about this pandemic. I am so over it.
Me too.
And I don't know whether it's a conspiracy or if it was nature. I get it that there are people in China Wuhan, I believe, that were, eating bats or whatever. And I know bats host a lot of diseases. However, you hear and you read about on certain places and sites that it was man-made and it's biochemical warfare or whatever. I'm so confused. All I know is that I want it to be over because Daytona was canceled. Cheerleading Worlds was canceled. So there's Daytona for college, and then World is for all-star. That's club cheerleading, and that's one of the biggest cheer events. That was canceled, so I can't go to Disney World for that. And then I'm a choreographer, so I travel the world during the summer to help teams for the next season. And now I don't even know if there is another season because of this pandemic. I'm just so over it.
It's awful. I mean, Jimmy, going back to conspiracies, Jimmy is always trying to push a conspiracy on me. Jimmy, come on. You want to tell him about this?
They're not conspiracies. It's truth.
Oh, no.
Okay. So what do you believe is the truth? Because I have heard so many different things. What's your truth?
We definitely have an epidemic or pandemic, however you want to call it. The coronavirus is real. Mm-hmm. I mean, I do think there's also something big going on out there.
Mm-hmm.
How deep?
What?
I don't know.
Do you think it was made? Do you think it was American made, or do you think it was Chinese made?
I believe it was American made. American made.
See, that's what I was told too. But I'm open to everything. I hear it. I don't stick to it. I'm just like, I've heard this. So
I take my little pieces, I believe, because it's kind of crazy. Every CEO stepping down. Amazon, Google, look at everywhere. All these big giant CEOs are stepping down. Why are they stepping down? There's something big going down.
Oh, God, guys, Jimmy made a new friend.
He did.
Okay, let me just say, I don't believe.
Jimmy, now you have 2 gay friends.
Yeah, great.
I'm not sticking to one of them yet. I'm just until I don't even know what it's going to take for me to believe anything, but I'm definitely skeptical. Skeptical. I'll take that.
I'm open. I wouldn't be surprised if something big was going down.
Would I be surprised? No,
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, it was this person all along, or it was this company, or
right.
This is what really happened. I wouldn't be like, oh my gosh. I'd be like, I saw.
So that was it. Yeah.
That. Like, oh, we finally found what it was. Like,
see, he's smart, Drake. I should listen to him more.
You guys are both. The government can't even run healthcare, let alone develop a worldwide pandemic. Ugh.
That's why I'm still. I don't know.
I think Bill Gates had something to do with it.
See, that's what everyone keeps saying.
See,
I'm not saying I agree with you. I'm saying I have heard it. I have acknowledged it. I don't know what to believe yet. Yes, he warned us, 2015 and 2016, that the next war would be caused by
chemical, a disease.
And he warned us a disease, because what better way to attack the millions of homes of America than going from inside? And I get that.
Everybody's on the computers using Microsoft.
I just don't know if I'm gonna pin it on him because he warned us. I feel like he was a very smart man. He saw it coming. He saw what a disease can do to a specific area, and had it been man-made, it could really affect the world. And he just saw this. It may not mean he was a part of it.
The world saw it coming though, because there was a article brought to Trump 3 years ago saying, "Look, this is gonna happen." And they were told to restock the supplies for N95 masks and hand sanitizer, and they just didn't do it. And I've heard it's a very short attention span, and a lot of those meetings, he's not listening by the end.
Not true.
We'll see.
We'll see. Yes. Oh, it's going to be a 10-hour.
We need a fact checker for this, but
we're going to need a part 2 of this.
I wouldn't mind a part 2. However, let me finish on this. I have learned through the show, if you want to bring it back to that, I've learned through the show that a lot of information can be misconstrued, taken differently. Yes. I have had things a lot of people reacted negatively about the show and said that these certain things happened because of this, and they started making elaborate stories about what was happening, about what I was doing. People didn't know where I was let's just say whether I was coming back for another season. People were saying that I was back, but at the time of reading that, I had already left. And there were things about certain athletes of and this person cheers here now, but they didn't know that person didn't cheer there. So even on a show that had everything to do with real life and none of it was, staged, people still took information and they made it theirs. And it was on BuzzFeed. It was on, teen people or whatever, those those magazines, or like, I don't even know if it was on like the New York Times, but it was on certain sites and reliable things that, like, I mean, BuzzFeed. I think BuzzFeed's pretty reliable, but they were saying things that were like so close to true but weren't. And then from that so close to being true, you have these anonymous accounts. We call them anons or tier anons that make up even more about what little they took from what they heard that was taken from our bigger truth.
So let's shut down the haters right now. Let's set the record straight right here on the Shit Show. Why don't you go ahead and like put them down? Like let's shut these rumors down.
Okay, I don't remember all the rumors. I will just say the rumor about me is that I am currently not at Navarro, and I wasn't at Navarro during the second semester. I had left for my own reasons, and I'm not coaching anymore. So if people want to say that I still am or whatever, or reasons that I left because Monica and I had agreed that I was moving on. So that is the end of it all. Okay, so don't make up stuff. It's crazy. And who knew that people would make up stuff about you? You know what I mean? You deal with it in high school, but you wouldn't think you'd see it on the internet. You know what I mean? I'm just like, and that's crazy because there's other things about other people that I don't know whether it's fully true or not. I'm like, interesting that they say that about that person when they have no idea what's really happening. And then that goes to show me that, okay, so actors and celebrities like, Kim Kardashian and, things that spread about her, or, other bigger names, people say things and like, oh, their love life, or this was caught with this person, but they have no idea, like, whether they were just eating a lunch with a friend,
right,
or if they're actually in a relationship or sleeping with them, So, and that gets spread on these, like, what are those, like, those taboo magazines?
Gossip. It's all gossip.
Those gossip. And those things are said about celebrities that are like, dude, that's not even true, and they don't even pay mind to it. And now imagine running the country. Now, I'm not gonna pick sides in politics. However,
interesting.
I can only imagine how much things could be said about someone that a lot of people already don't like. Yes,
like Trump.
Then, yes, has maybe not handled things maybe appropriately, and then to make up elaborate lies about it, like for the media. Like the
Democrats are doing.
We'll see. We don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, time will tell what's really going on. Like in a couple of years, we'll see.
You're back and apologize, Drake.
No, you'll be apologizing to me.
You apologize, like on South Park. Apologize.
So Cap, last night, Jimmy posted. I don't know if you followed Jimmy Jew, but
it was like 2 nights ago, I think.
No, this was last night. I remember it very well. Last night, Jimmy posts a video on he has a big Instagram account where he posts memes and shit, and most of it's pro Trump.
Shit.
But there was a video that really pissed me off. It was just like. It was from a movie, and somebody went and put it was from Kingsman, and somebody put Trump's face on like the guy with a gun, and then it was a bunch of just like news channel anchormen like logos, CNN,
ABC, all the fake news,
and Trump just goes and shoots them all up,
right?
And he posts this video. I'm like, Jimmy, don't fucking promote this.
What it is, it's one of those things where it's a sign of like it means get rid of the fake news. You have to read it different than you did, Drake. See, you're an artist.
Yeah, but you know what? Why promote a mass shooting, let alone the people?
Well, getting rid of fake news.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly agree on that. I don't lean any direction, one direction. I feel like maybe sometimes people say I'm a leftist, but I, one, don't like guns, and two, I just want to spread peace and love. I know that's something we'll never achieve. But I would much rather maybe he or that person made a video that was maybe more positive and more eye-opening rather than so aggressive. Because today, media has made politics this whole show.
Reality show.
It's really ridiculous. And it's almost too much to keep up with. Then I'm like, I almost want to tune it out because it's divided my family. I had an argument with my parents yesterday about this stuff. There's always picking a side and pointing at the demo rats and the Republicans, you know, like just always this constant battle when we're all one nation and we should all be coming, like we can have different views, but we all need to stand together as one nation. We can keep pointing the guns at each other, but we're not the enemy here.
And this show, the shit show, is founded on that very phrase, is that Jimmy and I are completely opposites, like, but we want to just show the world that we can all get along, and yeah, we're going to disagree. Who fucking cares? But at the end of the day, I'm still going to be best friends with this guy, and we're going to have this,
Drake.
You know, oh, I love you, Jimmy.
Yeah. But don't say that. Don't get gay on me.
Oh, you guys are so cute.
Oh, shit. Okay, we're not friends no more.
All right, Cap. Well, dude, this has been so much fun, and like we can't appreciate we appreciate you so much for coming onto the show, and you're part of the family now, man.
I'm looking forward to the next one because there will be a part 2.
There's going to be a part 2.
Yeah.
All the truth, good stuff about Trump comes out.
Do your research. Everyone do your research.
Watch, Bill Gates it's going to come out. Watch.
He's gonna somehow find this stream and he's just gonna like wipe it out and delete it.
I know, right? I'm lucky it wasn't about Hillary. We'd all be dead.
Oh, please.
Okay, let's not get into it.
We're not getting into it. Do you want to plug your social media and let everybody know where they can find you?
Oh, yeah. You can find me at kapenakea.com. KAPENAKEA. That's on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat if you really want to follow me. And I don't think I have to and Facebook. So, you know, add me and I'll definitely add you back. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Thank you, buddy.
You guys
love you too, man.
This is awesome. Thank you.
Fuck yeah.
We'll see you next time.